Okay, this is a bit weird, but like, I'll give it a go. What even is my hair doing? I don't even understand. Hello everyone, it's Jonas again, and I haven't done one of these in a while, but with the kind of end, or the beginning of the end of lockdown tomorrow, I'm filming this on Sunday, March the 7th. A lot of you might be approaching the kind of beginning of the end of this lockdown with a degree of trepidation, of anxiety, of fear. And you know, this could be applied to lockdowns and coming out of lockdown or whatever. But for me, the single biggest mindset, I suppose, has been the idea of presence and being engaged with the present moment as often as you can, and not letting your mind drift either really far back in time to your past, thinking about your past, and sort of living there, occupying that space. But conversely also, not letting your mind jump ahead to an essentially unknowable point, which is the future, particularly sort of the distant future. The secret to happiness is found not in enjoying more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. Obviously, I understand that, you know, I'm very lucky. I don't, to the best of my knowledge, I don't suffer from, from anxiety or depression. Of course, I have bouts of depression, as I think all people do, but I don't have them for that long, and I can't say that I'm a sufferer of anxiety or depression. But I know a lot of people who do suffer from mental health issues, really serious ones. And I'm sure if you yourself are not a sufferer, then you definitely know people who are suffering from these things. And so I'm very sensitive to these mental health issues. And I'm not here to say that obviously just a simple quote or a mantra or a mindset can just fix something that is deeply troubling you. But it might help. And so I feel like it's important to say just for that reason. Because if you can sort of take your mind out of the past or the future and just live in the now, and obviously you can't live in the now all the time, and I don't. My mind drifts all over the place. But it's about developing sort of that mental habit to just realise when you're doing that and to bring yourself back. Bring yourself back to yourself, as it were, to this current moment. Deep breath. I'm here, I'm sat by a river, it's sunny, I can feel the air, I can hear my voice, I can see things, etc. And sort of narrow your field of concerns, or narrow your range of concerns to simply what is in front of you and what you're doing and what you need to do right now. And if you can do that, you'll be a lot better off. So this bit in Matthew that I'm going to read is, I think it's the very end of chapter 6, and I'm just going to read because there's a lot of, it's quite a big section. The section is called "Do Not Worry," but I'm just going to read the last sentence. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. And I just scribbled something in the margins. I just said, turn your attention and energy. Jesus is saying upwards, towards God. But another way you could interpret that, which is kind of probably how I interpret it, is turn your attention and energy more deeply inwards. Because something I'm guilty of, which I think also pertains to this whole lockdown discussion, and this is something that Russell Brand talks about a lot, is you feel not right, whatever that means. You feel not right. And then there's sort of expectation arises that the outside world will fulfill you and will resolve your inner tension. You think, okay, the answer to this discontent lies somewhere out there. I need to find it and it will solve me. we might think, okay, if I have this relationship with this person, I'm going to be finally whole and be happy. That's kind of the modern romantic ideal, isn't it? The idea of a soulmate, I think, at its worst, is belonging to this sort of toxic line of thought. Essentially, it's the negative mindset of I'll be happy when this happens, or when I have this. And what Jesus has there, which I think is something that everyone could benefit from, is saying, don't worry about tomorrow. Focus on today. Tomorrow's got enough trouble. You can't deal with that now. Deal with that when it comes. Cross that bridge when you come to it. There's a bridge right here, which is ironic because there aren't actually any bridges near me. But there's a bridge right here, and just worry about crossing that. It's got enough. It's got enough issues on its own. And I think that's essentially what real presence is. Hello. Yeah, I was just making a video. Yeah, what are you guys up to?
Having a wander.
Having a wander. How are you guys feeling about the end of, the beginning of the end of lockdown?
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah. You excited? Nervous?
Yeah, bit of both probably.
Yeah.
Apprehensive,
Yeah.
Yeah, hopeful. Things are heading in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you making a video?
I was literally just talking about that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that, something that's kind of gotten me through lockdowns is like trying to be present.
Right.
And because I think something I was guilty of was during the lockdowns is thinking, oh, I'll be happy when lockdown ends. Because I was unhappy during lockdowns. It's I'll be happy when lockdown ends. But then realizing that, well, you've got to try and be happy now. You can't just be thinking, oh, I'll be happy when this happens. And that's quite a bad habit, I think. And so I was just talking about that, really. And I think that's quite a useful mindset, I think, for people. Because you might think, because you might have spent lockdown thinking, I'll be happy when lockdown ends. But then when the reality of it is happening, you get quite anxious and how am I going to handle that? I don't know. It's so weird because it's change. And so I think to sort of just take each day as it comes and just focus on today and be present and don't worry about all that if you can. I think it's quite a good mindset. Yeah. But, yeah. What do you guys think?
I agree. Well, that's the way to happiness, isn't it? You're going to be happy if you're always looking at something that's not here yet.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. We'll leave you to it. Enjoy.
Thank you. Yeah, good to meet you guys.
Take it easy.
Yeah, I want you to actually just stop what you're doing and just sit. Just wherever you are, just stop. Just stop for a second and just breathe. Just breathe. Just become aware of your breathing and just breathe. Just sit with yourself. That's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Stay safe. Lots of love, as always.